got in front of this king, Paul laid it down. Paul laid it down. Paul explained to King Agrippa. He says, listen, I was a horrible person. I persecuted Christians. I walked around killing Christians. I lied on Christians. Everywhere I found a Christian, I shut them down. Paul says, one day I was walking on this road. I was on the road to Damascus. And a light shone, blinded me. I couldn't see straight. I couldn't see to the left, couldn't see to the right. And a voice came to me and asked me, said, Paul, why you kick against the pricks? Why are you fighting me? That voice, church, was Jesus Christ. All right. That voice wanted to know, Paul, why are you fighting me? Why are you fighting me so hard? Amen. Paul explained all of this to King Agrippa. When Paul got through explaining to King Agrippa why he believed what he believed, King Agrippa looked at him. King Agrippa says, Paul, you almost persuade me to be a Christian. You almost make me want to be a Christian. Church, sometimes our family and our friends, when we talk to people, they have the same response. You almost make me want to be a Christian. Something kept King Agrippa back. Something held King Agrippa back from becoming a Christian. We don't know why it was almost. We don't know what was holding them back. The Bible does not tell us why King Agrippa didn't obey and do what Paul wanted him to be a Christian. Amen. We don't know why he didn't do it. All right. We could speculate. Maybe it was power because he was a king. Yeah. He didn't want to give up all that power. Yeah. Maybe it was the prestige because he was a king. Amen. So if he gave that up to become a Christian, he would have to give all that up. We don't know why King Agrippa did not obey the gospel. Amen. Come on. But for whatever reason it was, King Agrippa says, almost, you persuade me to be a Christian. Church, I stopped by to tell you this morning that to be an almost Christian is to be totally lost. You cannot be an almost Christian. You know that going to church does not make you a Christian. Just like going to the hospital don't make you a doctor. You can go up to Baptist as many times you want to and sit in the waiting room all you want to, and nobody's going to come out and say you're a doctor. It does not work like that. Coming to church just because you come here and sit here Sunday after Sunday does not make you a Christian. There are some people that are almost Christians that are in the church. Just because you're here don't mean that you're all the way a Christian. You have to be converted. You got to be fully committed. Because when you look later on in that same chapter, he says that I wish that you were all together, sold out. All the way. As Christians, we have to be all the way sold out. So this lesson applies to not only the people that are almost a Christian, but it's also a message for us that are Christians. Amen. See, because I maintain that even though we wear the name Christian, we can still be almost Christian. In other words, we have done all that we can do. We're in the church, but we're not all the way in the fight. We're not all the way. We still kind of like, yeah, we ain't really, you say show up on Wednesday night, I might. We're not really all the way. See, and we need to be all the way. We cannot be 99 and a half. Won't do. We got to be totally committed. King Agrippa was almost persuaded. To be almost persuaded means that you're all the way lost. That's all it means. To be almost a winner means that you're a loser. To be an almost Christian means that you're all the way lost. That means that you lost because you never made it. Paul preached a message to King Agrippa. He preached a powerful message to him. King Agrippa looked at him. And all that Paul explained to him, and I know it was compelling. I know it had to be a compelling message. But King Agrippa says, you almost persuaded me. In other words, you almost got me. You ever heard a sales pitch? You ever been somewhere and a salesman, a real good salesman, come on you, they're trying to sell you something, whatever it is, a car, whatever. And you sitting there and you're there, man, I almost signed that contract. I mean, I remember we went to one of the little vacation things where they made all these little vacation deals. And I can remember sitting there at the sales table telling the man, I almost want to sign this contract. But I almost wanted to sign it.
Right.
It was like that with King Agrippa. Paul made a magnificent case for Christ. He told him about his conversion, how he became a Christian. He told him the whole story. And the only thing King Agrippa could say was that you almost persuaded me. Paul, you almost got me. You almost got me. That's how I feel sometimes when I'm standing here on Sundays and I'm standing here and I'm preaching the gospel and telling you. And you know what? Your reaction tell me, Brother Gill, you almost got me. See, when you sit there and you look at me and you don't do anything about what I've said, what I spent the last 30 minutes talking about, you know what you're saying to me? Brother Gill, you almost got me. You were doing all right, you almost got me, but at the last minute, I came to myself. That's what Agrippa says. Paul, you almost got me. I was almost persuaded. I was almost persuaded. He says, you almost persuaded me to be a Christian.